Thank all of y'all for coming out, welcoming Prodigy home. You were away for a long time. Hip hop missed you. Glad to have you back. I miss hip hop. Wow. No doubt, no doubt. And recognize your brother who just walked in. Havoc's in the back. Yeah. A lot of hip hop in the building. Yo, the book is hot. I read it cover to cover. Sex, drugs, violence, hip hop. Everything is in there. It's a page turner. And there's a lot of surprises. Obviously, I didn't know, I don't think a lot of people knew that you have sickle cell anemia and a very vicious strain of it. And your young life is really dominated by dealing with the pain of it that creeps up on you, and you describe it as debilitating, it's paralyzing. You're in the hospital for months at a time. Talk about how sickle cell really made you who you are.
I would say that, you know, being born with sickle cell was like, you know, it at first, you know, it's confusing. When you're young, you don't know what it is, and, you know, your parents have to try to teach you, like, this is why this is happening to you, this is why you're going through this pain, or whatever. And, you know, when you get to a certain age, you start understanding things and thinking on your own and, like, really doing things, you know, it caused me to be angry. You know what I mean? I was, like, real angry, like why I had to be born with that or whatever, and, you know, angry at God, like, you know what I mean? Like, why he do that to me? And
you thought about suicide at one point.
As
a teenager.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? And you know, it just made me a real angry person, because I had to deal with a lot of pain, and, you know, it just made me different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gave me a little attitude.
The other thing that we didn't know, I mean, the family you come from is amazing. Your grandmother is a dance legend. You know, your mom was in a major singing group that had hit. What was your mom's hit?
She had like Rockin' Robin and Do Run Run.
I mean, we all know the Do Run Run Run. We all know that joy. And like, you know, I didn't know that before I read this. But your dad, so that gives you one side of the story of how, you know, showbiz, and your grandfather was big in showbiz. He was a jazz man, right?
Yeah, my grandfather was a big saxophone clarinet player. You know what I mean? He was in a lot of bands with like Quincy Jones and Dizzy Gillespie and a lot of people like that. He had a few albums out there that did good.
But on the other side, your dad was criminal.
Yeah.
When you were, was it 15? He pulled up at the jewelry store, told you to wait in the car.
It was a little younger than that.
Oh, it was like 8, right?
Yeah.
And he runs in, you didn't know what he was doing, then he runs out and you zip off and you're like, he just robbed a jewelry store with me sitting here as the...
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really understand why he did that at that time. I didn't know what was going on really, you know, and you know, the truth of the matter is, you know, my father, he was a heroin addict, you know what I mean? So he was doing certain things to support his dope addict, you know what I mean, his dope addiction, you know what I'm saying? So little things like that, you know what I mean? And you know, I guess when you that addicted to something, you do crazy things like that, you know what I mean?
In the intro to the book, you talk about that you have changed, and you say you've changed from evil to good. And what does that mean on a practical level? Like, how are you living different to represent that?
I guess, you know, when I got everything taken away from me, when I had to sit down for those 3 years, and I got my career taken away from me and my family and things like that, it really was like a wake-up call for me, you know what I mean? And you know, I was forced to be in there with I put myself there actually, you know what I mean? And I got sickle cell. Like, it's not a place to be for anybody, but especially if you got like sickle cell disease, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing. Like, the prison system, like, once you in there, like, they don't care if you in there, if you in pain. Like, they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you bleed, unless you bleeding in your cell on the floor, they not coming. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen that, and you know what I mean, and I put myself in that situation, it just made me realize, like, damn, what the fuck am I doing out here? You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta get my shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, a lot of people catch bricks in the head in this book. Saigon, gets beat up. Noriega gets beat up in the book. Keith Murray catches a hard one in the book. Jay-Z, and we're going to talk about the Jay-Z moment. Nas gets beat real hard. And I know
not that hard.
Well, all right, when y'all read the book, you'll see but there's a bunch of moments where you're going at Nas, and I know you told Complex, some other people, that when you got out, called Nas, squashed whatever was before you went away. But I'm wondering, how does what's in this book not explode that again? Because you're really going at him, dude attacking him in the studio, you call him a liar, you this, that, and the third.
I mean, basically, everything that I'm saying is just really what happened, you know what I mean? So, you know, he know that's what it was, and that's why we had to have that conversation, you know what I'm saying, over the phone and whatnot. And that's why I made sure I made that happen, because, you know, I want him to know that, you know, it's not even like that, you know what I mean, that my love for him is beyond all that also, you know what I mean? Similar to the love I got for Had, but it's different, but, you know, it's similar in a way, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Nas is our brother, you know what I mean? And the problems that we had wasn't even between me and him. It was people around us. You know, I had no hard feelings towards him. You know, I never did, man. You know, I always loved Nas, man.
But with Jay-Z, there's no love lost.
You know, Jay, that was a little different, you know what I mean? Because he ain't in the fam, so it's like he was a stranger, you know what I mean, coming in like, you know, just trying to do something, trying to make things like make it into something that it wasn't, you know what I mean? When I think about it now, it was like when that whole, you know, little rap battle started, I was like angry, like, because I wanted to really do something to him. Like, I wanted to beat him up. Like, cause I know what we do when we see him, it's gonna be something for real. It's not just gonna be rap music. So a lot of anger was coming out of me. Like, man, when we catch you, you know what it is, man. Maybe like 4 months after the Summer Jam thing, man, when, you know, around the time of that winter, right after Summer Jam, we was in Justin's. I was with a whole bunch of my dudes from Queensbridge, and you know, we hear the DJ say, Jay-Z in the house. Shout out to Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri in the house. So we like, what? Like, we been in the club for hours. We ain't seen him in here. So we like, all right. So we surrounded the front door, so he couldn't leave without seeing us. You know what I mean? So they was leaving the club, and you know, Jay-Z seen me, and he put his hand out. You know what I mean? He was like, yo. He shook my hand. He was like, yo, it's just music, son. It ain't no beef, ain't no drama. Let's just keep it music. I said, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And we left it at that.
It's Toure. We're in Dumbo, Brooklyn at Powerhouse Arena. I interviewed Prodigy from Mobb Deep about his book, My Infamous Life. It's an incredible book. Sex, violence, drugs, guns, jail, Nas, Jay-Z. It's an incredible read. Definitely check it out. So to be here, to be part of helping Prodigy get his book out to the people, definitely a blessing. He called me and said, you know, I want you to help me do this thing, do this event tonight. And, you know, I'm just happy to help him do this, you know, because hip-hop's not just music, you know, it's clothes, it's so many other things. And, like, hip-hop books, very important, powerful thing.